Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is a small incident from Yayati Maharaja's life. He was a very dharmic person. He ruled the kingdom according to Dharma in a very successful way. He was doing dana, dharma, yajna, yaga from the wealth that he gained. He was an ideal person at that time. But he was also experiencing and enjoying the samsara sukha and bhoga to a greater level. Once, due to a shapa, he had to experience old age. He became an aged person. Then he swapped his age with his son and again got youth, and again he started to enjoy the samsara sukha and bhoga to a greater extent. But he was also doing dana dharma, yajna yaga, etc. So, after a long time, nearing his end days, he got fed up of all this bhoga and samsara sukha, etc. So, he thought that enough is enough. He thought that fire can never be subdued by pouring more ghee into it. Likewise, desires can never be subdued by experiencing and enjoying it more and more. So he thought that it is time to sacrifice everything. So he sacrificed everything, his Rajya, the Rajya Vaibhava, his wealth, everything he sacrificed, and he went to forest to be there and be as a Vanavasi and do sadhana. As he accumulated a lot of punya from his young age by doing dharmacharana like yajna yaga, tapas, etc., he was welcomed at the Swargaloka. So this Raja Yayati went to Swargaloka and lived there with Vaibhava happily. Once Lord Indra, who is the Swargadipati, on his sanchara saw Yayati, and there happened a conversation between both of them. Lord Indra asked, "O Yayati, you fulfilled all your duties while you were in Bhuloka, and you even sacrificed everything at your old age. Who can be more ideal than you?" he asked. To which Yayati said, "In Deva, Manushya, Gandharvas, there is no one who is equal to me," he told. And these words, which were filled with ego, which were filled with ahankara, led to his downfall. He immediately fell from the Swargaloka. The mountain of punya that he accumulated all these years melted in seconds. He fell from Swargaloka to a Yagnashala at Bhuloka. There were 4 Rishis, Ashtaka, Pravardhana, Vasumana and Shibi. They were performing yajna and Yayati fell there. Seeing this Punyatma Yayati fall from the Swargaloka, these Rishis, they got up, went to him and asked his reason behind the downfall. To which Yayati explained to them how he replied with ahankara and how dangerous this ahankara or ego is in destroying a person. And further, Yayati explained and narrated about the phala of punya which is experienced in Swargaloka and the Uttama Loka that the Rishis will get by doing this yajna yaga, tapas, etc. Hearing all these, those 4 Rishis, they felt very pleased and happy, and one of the 4 Rishi offered to give Yayati all of his punya so that he can again go back to Swargaloka. But Yayati instantly denied it. Seeing his denial, all the 4 Rishis offered to give him all of their punya so that he can again go back to Swargaloka. To which Yayati said, "Punya is something which is hard earned. It comes after a lot of labor. And how can I just acquire and accept it from you and go back to Swargaloka? I will earn it myself," told Yayati. Seeing the generosity of the 4 Rishis who were ready to give all their hard earned punya to Yayati astonished the Devatas. Also, the sacrificial nature of Yayati who could have easily received the punya from those rishis and would have gone back to Swargaloka, but he denied it. And that sacrificial nature, the tyaga which Yayati did, also impressed the Devatas. So the Devatas thought and they sent the Devaloka Vimana to welcome all the 5 of them at Swargaloka. They were taken to Swargaloka. This small incident from Yayati's life shows us the moral is that how much ever dharmic the person may be, how much ever sadhana sharira the person may be, but if he had ahankara or ego, it will only lead to his downfall. In the same way, tyaga or sacrifice is something which will rise a person. This is a great moral which is hidden in the life incident of Yayati Maharaja. Shri Krishna Arpanavastu.